Good to have you here on WKYT. Halloween can be the spookiest night of the year, but keeping your pets safe doesn't have to be all that tricky.
Dr. Butch Schroyer from the Animal Care Clinic joins us with some ways to keep your pets safe. Very important. Thanks for being here.
Trick or treat's just around the corner, right? The kids are going to be out on the street, and we always want to worry about our children when they're out trick or treating, keep them safe. But unfortunately, we need to keep our furry kids safe as well. And so one of the things we have to remember is we're going to have a lot of ghosts and goblins and strange characters showing up at our front doors. And not only are they going to show up at the door, we're going to be opening the door to pass the candies and the treats out. And when we do that, we have to remember our pets are not accustomed to people being at the door. As you know, because if the UPS guy shows up and rings the doorbell, the dog goes frantic, right?
And so they're all dressed strangely.
So they just don't know what to expect. So what we want to do is we want to make sure we keep our pets inside the house, not in the backyard, so they're not disturbed outside. Even if they're normally outside, you ought to bring them in. Our indoor pets, we want to get them back into the house away from the front door and the confusion. That way they don't get out. And gosh forbid if they got out, make sure you've got their collar and their ID and the ID on them, and they've been microchipped. So if they slip out, we've got a better chance to get them home. The other thing that happens after the trick or treat, the children come home hopefully with their bags full of candy that the dentist might not want. But what do? We typically take it and dump it right out on the table. And when you dump that stuff out on the table, guess who else's nose is checking it out?
Yes, absolutely.
And so we all are very much aware that chocolate can be a problem. And chocolate can be a big problem if they eat too much of it. And the deep, dark, rich baker's type chocolates have much more theobromine in to cause problems. So you have to be careful with all chocolates. The safe thing is just don't give them any. And if they get into some, call your veterinarian to make sure that you don't need to do something about considering how big they are and what's going on. Another thing that kids are using out at night, lots of times they're using these little glow sticks. And the glow sticks are toys as far as a dog's concerned. Now, the good news about the solution inside of that glows is not toxic, but it tastes bad and is bitter. And so if they get into one of those things, they're going to start drooling and carrying on, and you're going to go, oh my gosh. It's not going to kill them, but it's going to cause them to drool till you get their mouth rinsed out really well. So we want to be very cautious about that. Another thing that's going on is lots of times we're dressing our pets sometimes, and we're intentionally taking them out. And if you put a costume on the dog, you need to make sure it fits comfortably and they're not too disturbed by it. Because if they get too disturbed by it, they're going to be scratching and digging at it, tearing it up, may eat pieces of it just to get it off.
Try that out before Halloween.
Always a good thing to try it out. Put them on a day or two before. Just put them on, let them wear around the house a little bit, see if they're going to tolerate it. If they tolerate it, then they can go and have fun, and you can have fun because they're having fun.
But the bottom line is have your plan ready before you have that first knock at the door.
Yes. Pets up, pets safe, whole gamut.
All right. Good advice, Dr. Butch. Thanks for coming by. Really appreciate it.